The bullet hit me square in the chest before I even heard the shot. 1 second. I was sprinting through the rain-slicked alley behind that godforsaken Boston warehouse, my lungs burning like I'd swallowed fire. And the next, everything exploded in white-hot agony. I crumpled to the wet pavement, tasting copper and regret, my mind flashing to the wedding photos I'd taken just 6 months earlier, the ones that should have been my big break, the ones that captured not just love, but lies so deep they buried me alive. But death?
Nah.
That part was worse. It wasn't quick. I lay there, staring up at the bruised New England sky, watching raindrops mix with the blood pooling under me, while my so-called best friend Emily's voice echoed in my head, "You should have stayed out of it. Mags. Some secrets are worth killing for." Betrayal tasted sharper than the bullet. And as the world faded to black, I swore if there was a god, a devil, or just dumb cosmic luck, I'd claw my way back and make her pay.
Then,
nothing. Blackness. Until it wasn't. I woke up gasping, not in a morgue or some ethereal void, but tangled in my old twin bed in my cramped South End apartment, the kind with peeling wallpaper and a window that rattled like it had a grudge against winter. Sunlight sliced through the blinds, hitting me right in the eyes, July sunlight, the sticky kind that made Boston feel like a pressure cooker. My heart hammered so hard I thought it'd burst again. But my hands, Jesus, my hands were smooth, unscarred. The calluses from years of lugging camera gear softened like I'd never hauled ass through that alley. It was July 15th. 6 months before the wedding. Before the photos. Before the bullet. I bolted upright, sheets twisting around my legs, and grabbed my phone from the nightstand. The date stared back at me, July 15th, 2025. My reflection in the cracked mirror across the room showed a face I hadn't seen in what felt like a lifetime, 28. Wide-eyed. With that stupid pixie cut I'd rocked before everything went to hell. "Holy shit," I whispered, my voice cracking.
重生.
Reborn. Or whatever you call it when the universe hits rewind on your murder. Panic clawed at my throat. I remembered it all. The gig of a lifetime. Shooting the wedding of Emily Hargrove, my college roommate. The sister I never had to that slick Wall Street prick, Nathan Caldwell. It was supposed to be perfect. A sprawling estate on the Cape. Ocean views. A-list guests including a senator and some tech billionaire. I'd poured my soul into those shots, capturing the laughter, the vows, the cake-cutting bliss. Until the reception, when I'd wandered into the garden for candid moments and my Nikon snagged something it shouldn't have. Nathan, mid-kiss with his ex, some red-headed intern named Lila, tucked away behind the rose arbor. Not just a fling, my lens caught the panic in his eyes, the way he shoved her away when he heard my shutter click. But that was nothing compared to what came after. Emily found out I'd seen it. Confronted me in the bridal suite, her veil askew, mascara running like black rivers down her cheeks. "Delete them, Mags. Or I'll make sure no one books you again." I laughed it off, loyalty, right? But she didn't. She spread rumors. I was unreliable, a drunk, sleeping my way into gigs. My career tanked overnight. Then the real knife twist, the accident at the warehouse. I'd been tipped off anonymously about Nathan's side hustle, laundering money for the senator, using Emily's family's nonprofit as a front. I went snooping, thinking I'd expose them, save my friend from the monster she'd married. Instead, they saved themselves. Emily's call to the hitman, Her voice cold as the rain. She's on to us. Handle it.
Now.
Here I was, back before the invitations went out. Before I said yes to the job. My hands shook as I scrolled through my contacts. Emily's name glowed at the top. Her last text from this timeline. Girls' night soon?
Miss you.
Zoxo. Lies. All of it. But this time, I'd play along. I'd smile for the camera, mine and theirs, and when the shutters snapped on their secrets, I'd make sure the exposure ruined them. I threw on jeans and a faded Bruins tee, grabbed my camera bag like it was armor, and headed out. The South End buzzed with its usual summer chaos, food trucks hawking lobster rolls, joggers dodging tourists, the tea rumbling underground like a vein pulsing through the city. I needed coffee, strong,
Black.
no frills, to steady my nerves. At the corner cafe, the barista, a kid with tattoos snaking up his arms,
Grinned.
the usual, Margaret, yeah,
Tommy.
make it a double shot. As he steamed the milk, I stared at the sugar packets, mind racing. First move, secure the gig. Emily had emailed last week, gushing about her dream photographer. In the old timeline, I jumped at it. This time, I'd negotiate, higher fee, more control. Plant seeds of doubt early. My phone buzzed. Speak of the devil. Hey Mags. Bridal mag wrecked you. Want to meet for lunch? Nathan's dying to see your portfolio. I typed back. Fingers flying. Absolutely. Love to. How's noon at Legal Seafoods?
Send.
Hook
Line.
and sinker. Lunch was a masterclass in restraint. Emily swept in, all golden waves and designer sundress, hugging me like we were still sorority sisters instead of Judas and her Mark. Nathan loomed beside her, tall and polished in chinos and a button-down, his smile too white, too rehearsed. Margaret Hale, the woman who makes love look eternal, he said, shaking my hand with just enough squeeze to assert dominance. We ordered clams casino for her, swordfish for him, my crab cake salad untouched as I flipped through my iPad portfolio. The wedding shots from smaller gigs, intimate elopements in the Berkshires, beach vows in Nantucket. Their eyes lit up at the Cape Estate photos I'd mocked up. This is it, Emily breathed. Our vision exactly. Budget's tight, Nathan interjected. All business. What's your eighth? I leaned in, channeling every ounce of that second-chance deal. For a high-profile event like this, $25K, plus travel and prints. Emily's fork paused midair. Nathan chuckled, low and dismissive. That's highway robbery. We'll do 15. In the old life, I'd caved at 12. This time, 18. And I get creative control, no interference on shots. They exchanged a glance, that secret language of power couples, and Emily nodded.
Deal.
Your family, Mags.
Family.
The words soured in my gut like bad chowder. As we clinked glasses to the engagement party next month, I toasted silently to the fall. But doubts gnawed. Was I ready for this? Exposing them meant dragging innocence into the mud. The senator's donors. Emily's nonprofit kids.
And what if they smelled the change in me?
Paranoia. Margaret. Focus. Back home, I dug out my old Nikon from the closet dust bunnies. The shutter whispered as I tested it, each click a vow. I'd document everything, the whispers, the glances, the shadows in the garden. But revenge wasn't just photos, it was strategy. I needed allies. First call to Jake, my ex from photo school, now a PI in Dorchester. Mags, long time. What's up? Need a favor.
Jake.
Background on a couple, Nathan Caldwell and Emily Hargrove. Silence. Then a whistle. Wall Street Wolf and the do-gooder heiress?
Why?
Just curious. Off the record. He laughed. For you, 20% off my usual. Give me a day. Night fell heavy, the city lights smearing across my window like accusations. I lay awake, replaying the alley, the muzzle flash. Emily's betrayal text I'd found on the hitman's phone. Make it look like a mugging. This time, I'd be the one pulling strings. But as sleep tugged, a flicker of the old me surfaced, the Margaret who believed in second chances, not vendettas. Push it down, I told myself. They took your life. Now take theirs. The next morning, Jake's email hit, dossiers thicker than a King novel. Nathan, Yale grad, hedge fund golden boy, but whispers of insider trading. A settled sexual harassment suit with that intern Lila. Emily, old money from Philly Textiles, runs a youth arts foundation, laundering front, offshore accounts linked to the senator's PAC. And the kicker, a joint email chain, coded, about cleaning house before the wedding.
House.
Or me. My blood ran cold. They knew I was trouble even then.
Good.
Let them. I'd crash their perfect day like a glitch in the Matrix. Weeks blurred into prep. Fittings, mood boards, site visits to the Cape Estate rolling lawns, infinity pool overlooking the Atlantic, a ballroom that screamed old money. Emily chattered about themes, nautical chic, heirloom pearls. Nathan lurked, eyes appraising me like livestock. You always this intense. Margaret, he'd ask, smirking over bourbon at planning dinners. Only when the light's right, I'd shoot back, snapping candids to mask my surveillance. One night, after too many wines, Emily pulled me aside in the powder room. Promise me you'll capture the magic.
Mags.
Nathan's. Complicated. But this is our fresh start. Complicated. Code for monster. I hugged her, inhaling her Chanel, and whispered, I promise. Lies tasted sweet now. Engagement party loomed, a yacht cruise off Hyannis Port, guests in linen and pearls. I arrived early, camera slung like a six-shooter, staking out angles. The boat gleamed white against the blue, champagne flutes clinking as socialites boarded. Emily in a flowing maxi, Nathan in seersucker, waving like royalty. That's when I saw her, Lila, the intern, red hair like a warning flare, slipping aboard last, her dress a deliberate echo of Emily's. Nathan's eyes locked on her from the deck, a hunger there that twisted my stomach.
Click.
First shot secured. As the sun dipped, casting the harbor in gold, I mingled, eavesdropping over hors d'oeuvres. Senator Hargrove, Emily's uncle, held court by the rail. Nathan at his elbow, murmuring about donations. Lila hovered nearby, laughing too loud at nothing. Tension coiled like the anchor chain. Then, the hook, Emily pulled me to the stern for bestie pics. Wind whipped our hair as she posed, radiant. But over her shoulder, through the lens, Nathan and Lila vanished into a cabin below decks. I adjusted focus, shutter half-pressed, and caught the door ajar. Shadows merging. Earth to Mags. Emily laughed, snapping her fingers. I lowered the camera, heart thundering.
Got it.
Perfect. But it wasn't. As the party peaked, fireworks bursting over the water, toasts to eternal love, I slipped away, descending to the lower deck. The cabin door was cracked, murmurs leaking out like smoke. Can't risk it.
Nate.
She's already sniffing around the books. Lila's voice.
Sharp.
Nathan's reply. Silk over steel. We'll handle hail. Like the others.
Hail. Me. Click.
The Nikon words softly, immortalizing their panic as they spun toward the sound. Lila's gasp. Nathan's snarl. You. I backed away, grinning like the devil. Smile. You're on candid camera. They lunged, but I was faster, up the stairs, into the crowd. Camera clutched like a grenade. The night air hit like freedom, but their eyes burned into me from the shadows.
Game on.
The yacht party aftermath was a whirlwind of feigned normalcy. I holed up in my apartment that night, downloading the shots onto my encrypted drive, Nathan's hand on Lila's waist, the cabin door ajar, their faces twisted in mid-threat. Evidence. But not enough. Not yet. I needed the full picture, the kind that'd stand up in court or, hell, go viral on X and torch their reputations before they could lawyer up. Sleep evaded me, chased off by ghosts of the alley rain. Instead, I paced the creaky floors, plotting like a B-movie villain. Step 1. Fortify my position. I emailed Emily the engagement highlights, sanitized, glowing shots of her laughing with guests. No incriminating shadows. Can't wait for the big day. These are magic. Her reply pinged at dawn. Obsessed. You're a wizard.
Mags.
Brunch tomorrow? Brunch. Where she'd probe. Testified spill.
Fine.
I'd play the doting friend. Drop subtle barbs to rattle Nathan. By morning, Jake's follow-up dossier landed. Lila Voss. 24. Fresh out of Wharton. Executive assistant to Nathan with a suspiciously high salary. And Emily? Her foundation had funneled $2 mil last quarter to shell companies tied to the senator's re-election. Arts grants? My ass. I met them at a Back Bay bistro. All exposed brick and overpriced avocado toast. Emily air-kissed my cheeks, her eyes scanning me like radar. You okay? Looked spooked last night.
Rough waves. I lied.
Sliding into the booth. Nathan sat across, nursing a Bloody Mary, his gaze a laser. Great shots, Margaret. Though I swear I saw you lurking below decks. Chasing ghosts. I met his stare, fork spearing a strawberry with deliberate calm. Just the light. It hides in the best places. Emily laughed it off, launching into floral arrangements, peonies versus hydrangeas, but Nathan's foot accidentally nudged mine under the table. A warning pressure. I didn't flinch. Instead, I texted Jake under the table. Dig deeper on Voss. Offshore links. Post-brunch. I hit the streets. Camera in tow for a location scout. Truth? Surveillance. I tailed Nathan to his Back Bay office. A glass tower piercing the sky like a middle finger to the working stiffs below. From a coffee shop across the street, I zoomed in, him barking orders at underlings, Lila at his side, her hand lingering on his arm a beat too long.
Click.
Pattern established. But paranoia bred mistakes. That evening, as I reviewed footage on my laptop, a knock rattled the door. Heart slamming, I peered through the peephole. Emily, alone, holding a bottle of rose. Surprise delivery from the future Mrs. Caldwell. I let her in,
Forcing a grin.
She breezed past, kicking off Louboutins, collapsing on my thrift store couch like old times.
God. Mags.
This place is still a dump. When are you upgrading? Pouring wine into mismatched mugs. She chattered about honeymoon spots, Bora Bora, maybe Tuscany, but her eyes darted to my camera bag on the table. We clinked, and she dove in. Last night. Nathan said you were eavesdropping. Some things about the cabin. Bingo. I sipped slow, buying time. Eavesdropping?
Nah.
Just framing shots.
Why?
He hiding bodies down there? Her laugh was brittle, fingers tightening on the mug. Don't be silly. He's just
Stressed.
the wedding's blowing the budget. Stressed.
Right.
I leaned forward, voice honeyed. If there's anything I should know for the photos. I mean, I'm your girl. No judgments. She hesitated, then waved it off. All good. Pinky swear. As she left an hour later, tipsy and hugging me fierce, I spotted it, her phone, left on the counter. Rookie slip? Or bait? I snatched it, heart racing, unlocked. Because of course she trusted me. Text to Nathan, at Mags. She's prying. Delete the cabin vids?
Vids? Plural?
I forwarded the thread to my burner email, then placed the phone by the sink like it had slipped. When she backtracked 5 minutes later, forgot my phone, I feigned surprise. Weird. I didn't see it. Her eyes narrowed, but she grabbed it and bolted. That night, alone with the wine she'd left, I cracked open my laptop. The forwarded texts painted a fever dream, Nathan and Lila plotting contingencies for leaks. Emily's replies laced with emojis masking fury. And a photo attachment me, from the yacht's stern, mid-shot, time-stamped last night. They'd been watching. Fear coiled, but so did resolve. Time to escalate. I called Jake at midnight. Need wiretaps. Legal ones. And a hacker buddy for cloud breaches. Jesus. Mags. This is deep shit. Who's the target? Everyone I thought I loved. The weeks to the wedding crawled like a hangover. Planning sessions turned combative, Nathan pushing for no garden shots after dark, Emily second-guessing every album mock-up. I complied on the surface, but underground? A war room. Jake's PI firm uncovered bank trails, $500,000 siphoned from the foundation to a Cayman account in Lila's name. The senator's PAC? A revolving door of consulting fees to Nathan's firm. I even met Lila accidentally at a financial district espresso bar. She was all sharp bob and sharper heels, ordering a flat white with oat milk. You're the photographer, she said. Not a question. I nodded. Casual. For the wedding. You? Assistant. Thrilling stuff. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. We bantered. Harvard versus.
Boo.
The soul-crushing grind of Boston winters, but under it, a current. She knew I knew. As she left, she brushed my arm. Careful with those angles, Margaret. Some shots develop badly. Message received. But I had one too, anonymous tip to an old journalist contact at the Globe, seated with just enough to pique interest without naming names. Heard whispers of finance scams tied to high society wedding. Worth a dig? Her reply, intriguing. Send more. The Cape estate loomed like a gilded trap. Rehearsal dinner. A clam bake on the beach. Fire pits crackling against the dusk. Guests arrived in Teslas and Escalades, Senator included, clapping Nathan on the back like a prodigal son. Emily glowed in a sundress, but her grip on my elbow was vice-tight. Tomorrow's the day. No drama. Okay. Wouldn't dream of it. I snapped the rehearsal procession, flower girls strewing petals. Nathan's groomsmen in linen. The ocean whispering secrets. But my real lens hunted Lila, absent from the official roster, parked down the road in a rental Prius. I jogged over under pretense of signal hunt, finding her scrolling her phone by the dunes. Lost, I called. She startled, shoving the device away. Just
Air.
Congrats to the happy couple. We walked back in silence, the sand shifting underfoot. At the path's end, she stopped. Nathan talks about you. Says you're tenacious. Flattery? From the other woman? Her laugh was smoke. Other? Honey. I'm the upgrade. Emily's the beard, the respectable cover for his appetites. She glanced at the estate lights. But she's useful. Until she's not. The confession hung. Bait or breakdown. I pressed. And the money? The arts grants. Eyes narrowing. She stepped closer. Walk away, Margaret. Or join the ghosts.
Ghosts.
Plural. My alley echoed. Before I could retort, a shout, Emily, waving us in. Lila sauntered off, leaving me with salt-stung skin and a new thread. Upgrade? Beard? Emily in on it all? Rehearsal wrapped with toasts and tears. But I slipped away to the boathouse, dialing Jake. Lila just cracked. Says Emily's complicit. Dig on Hargrove family skeletons pre-Nathan. On it. But Mags?
Bail.
This reeks of indictments.
No.
They die tomorrow. Metaphorically, dawn broke bloody over the Atlantic, gilding the estate in false promise. Guests trickled in, stylists, florists, a string quartet tuning up. I set up in the bridal suite, lenses gleaming like scalpels. Emily arrived first, robe-clad, chattering nerves.
Mags.
Be honest, do I look puffy? Ridiculous. You're a vision. As her makeup artist worked, I caught her reflection, eyes shadowed, not from lack of sleep, but secrets.
Click.
Subtle, but damning. Nathan barreled in later, tux crisp, demanding final proofs. I handed over a USB, doctored, missing the yacht pics. His relief was palpable. Good work.
Hail.
Keep it clean.
Clean.
The word ignited me. As the ceremony hour neared, chaos reigned. A missing boutonniere, a drunk uncle, the senator cornering me for discreet family shots. I nodded through it, positioning for the aisle walk, pews of white lilies, the arch draped in tulle, ocean as backdrop.
Then,
the garden call. While bridesmaids fluffed trains, I wandered the paths. Nikon at ready. Roses heavy with bloom. Bees droning lazy. And there, Lila. Again. Lurking by the arbor. Phone to ear. Yes. She's here. The photos too. Burn it all after. Burn. My shutter fired silently. She whirled. But I was gone. Melting into the hedges. Ceremony time. The quartet swelled, Pachelbel's canon. Cliché perfection. Guests hushed as Emily appeared, arm in arm with her father, veil shimmering. Nathan at the altar, beaming false piety. I knelt in the aisle's sweet spot, capturing vows, in sickness and health. Till death us do part. Irony bit deep. As rings exchanged, my side-eye caught movement. Lila, slipping from the perimeter. A flash drive in hand. My USB, stolen from the suite. Rage surged. But hold. The recessional. Cheers. Petals flying. The kiss that sealed their farce. Reception beckoned. Cocktail hour on the lawn. Canapes and craft beers flowing. I cornered Jake in the valet lot, his unmarked sedan idling. Got the breach. He handed over a tablet. Emily's cloud. Hacked clean. Emails. Nudes. Ledgers. The foundation? A Ponzi for political bribes. Nathan's trades? Illicit tips from the senator. And me? Flagged as loose end in a group chat. Hale saw too much on yacht. Silence her post-wedding.
Proof.
All of it. Upload to the drop, I said. Anonymized. Leaked to Globe at 8 p.m. sharp. He gripped my arm. This ends careers.
Mags.
You sure? Surer than breath. As I strode back, the party's hum enveloped me. Laughter. Clinking glasses. Emily's squeal as Nathan twirled her. But under the joy, fractures, the senator's sweaty brow, Lila's ghost-white face across the tent. I raised my glass in a silent toast.
Tick-tock.
Cocktail hour dragged like a bad blind date. All small talk and forced smiles while my mind mapped the minefield. I circulated with purpose, snapping Auntie's goofy grin. The flower girls yawned, but my real work was reconnaissance. Lila stuck to the shadows, nursing a gin and tonic, her eyes tracking me like a hawk on a field mouse. Nathan held court by the bar, schmoozing donors, but his laughs rang hollow, punctuated by glances at his watch. Emily found me mid-shot, linking arms. Dance with me later? For old times? Wouldn't miss it. We swayed to the band's warm-up, some cover of At Last, her head on my shoulder, whispering, "This is it."
Mags.
Everything I've dreamed, dreams built on bones. I hugged tighter, inhaling her perfume, memorizing the moment before the shatter. "You deserve it," I murmured.
Lies. But they bought time.
As the sun dipped, painting the lawn in amber, guests herded toward the ballroom. I lagged, detouring to the garden arbor, site of sins past and future. The roses nodded heavy, petals curling like accusations. There, tucked in the lattice, my backup drive, planted that morning, loaded with yacht pics, printed stills, timestamps synced. Insurance. A rustle, Lila, emerging from the path, heels sinking in mulch. Looking for this? She dangled my stolen USB.
Smirking. Keep it.
Souvenir. I stepped closer, voice low. But know this, by midnight, your world's ash. Her poise cracked. Just a flicker. Threats? From the help. From the dead. The words hung. My alley ghost rising. She paled, backing away. You're crazy. Crazy wins. I let her flee. Then texted Jake. Leak live.
Now.
Inside. The reception exploded into opulence. 12-foot ceilings. Chandeliers dripping light. Tables groaning under lobster thermidor and heirloom tomato salads. The head table, Emily and Nathan center. Senator toasting their bright future. I perched at the perimeter, lens sweeping, capturing joy, but framing deceit. Click. Nathan's hand under the table, squeezing Lila's knee as she crashed a nearby seat. Dinner dragged, speeches slurring into sentiment. The best man, Nathan's frat bro, roasted him light on the bromance, heavy on the conquests. Laughter rippled, but Emily's smile tightened. My turn loomed, the slideshow. I'd prepped it innocuous, childhood snaps, engagement candids, but spliced in subliminals, a one-frame flash of the yacht cabin shadow during the How We Met montage. The AV guy queued it up post-entree, projector humming to life. Guests sued as baby Nathan finger-painted, Emily in pigtails at a Philly debutante ball.
Then,
The flicker, too quick for most. But Nathan choked on his wine, eyes bulging. Emily's fork clattered. Technical glitch, a guest murmured. I shrugged from the shadows. Old projectors. Finicky. Dessert followed, a 7-tiered naked cake. Forks diving in. But tension thickened the air like fog off the Cape. Whispers spread, phones buzzing discreetly. The Globe leak had dropped. Wall Street wedding whispers. Money laundering allegations rock high society nuptials. Nathan's face drained to putty as he scrolled. Emily leaning in. Her gasp audible. What the? Surprise, I muttered under my breath. Snapping the moment, her hand flying to her mouth. His knuckles white on the screen. The band struck up the first dance. Can't help falling in love, because irony's a bitch. They swayed. Wouldn't. Guests clapping polite while eyes darted to notifications. The senator bolted mid-song, phone to ear, barking into it by the French doors. Lila vanished entirely. I seized the chaos, pulling Emily aside during the father-daughter sway. You okay? Looks rough. Tears welled, smudging her liner. Some bullshit article.
lies.
All of it. Lies. I tilted my head, feigning concern. About the foundation? Nathan Steele's? Her eyes snapped to mine.
Wild.
How do you? No, because I see things. Through the lens. I paused, letting it sink. Like you and the senator's grants, or Nathan and her. I nodded toward Lila's empty chair. She recoiled, venom flashing. Spying? After everything? Everything? Like setting me up for a mugging? Or was that Nathan's play? The color fled her face. What are you talking about? The warehouse. 6 months from now. Bullet to the chest. Your voice on the tape. Handle it. I leaned in, voice ablade. But this time, I handled first. Horror twisted her features. Genuine? Or actress supreme?
Mags.
You're scaring me. Good. I slipped a printout from my clutch, the group chat screenshot.
Her words bolded.
Silence hail. She snatched it.
Crumpling.
This isn't, I didn't. Save it for the feds. I turned, leaving her adrift in the crowd, bouquet trembling in her fist. The dance floor filled. Oblivious guests twirling to Motown hits, but the undercurrent raged. Nathan stormed the DJ booth, demanding the mic. Folks. Quick announcement. Ignore the tabloid trash. Fake news from jealous rivals. Boos and cheers mixed. But skepticism rippled. Phone stayed out. X lighting up, Caldwell wedding scandal trending. I retreated to the photo booth. A velvet curtain nook for props and Polaroids. Perfect cover. As couples hammed it up, feathered boas, Oversized glasses. I monitored feeds on my phone. Jake texted, "Feds en route." Tipped anonymously. Senators camp in meltdown. Euphoria spiked. Chased by nausea. This was it, the unraveling. But a shadow fell across the curtain. Nathan. Ty Askew. Bourbon breath hot. "We need to talk." Photo op. I quipped. Shutter clicking his scowl. "Cut the shit."
Hail.
"That leak?" "You." I lowered the camera, meeting his glare. "Prove it." He lunged, grabbing my wrist, hard enough to bruise. "I will. And when I do, you'll wish that bullet had finished the job." The curtain parted then, Emily, wild-eyed, dragging him back. "Not here." "God."
Nate.
"Control yourself." He shoved her off, storming out. She turned to me, pleading.
Mags. Please.
"Call it off." "For me." "For you?" "The friend who greenlit my murder." I laughed, bitter. "Dream on." Her sob was raw, collapsing against the booth frame. "It wasn't like that."
He forced me.
The money, the threats. I covered to survive. Sympathy flickered, old Margaret surfacing. But the alley rain doused it. Survival's a choice. "You chose wrong." As she fled, tears streaming, the band set peaked, fireworks outside sinking to Sweet Caroline. Guests sang along, Ba Ba Boss echoing. But the magic cracked. Waiters whispered. A bridesmaid slipped out mid-chorus. The senator's aide fielding calls by the pool. I needed air. The garden called, stars pricking the velvet sky. But footsteps crunched, Lila, emerging from the arbor, my backup drive in hand. She'd found it. Sloppy. Margaret. She dangled it. Triumphant. "Think this ends us? You're collateral." "Am I?" I stepped forward. Phone out, live streaming to my Burner X account. The leak's architect. "Tell the world."
Then.
About the beard. The laundering. "How, Emily's your patsy." Her smirk faltered. "You wouldn't." "Watch me." The stream went live. Her face. The drive. My voice narrating. Evening. America. Meet the real wedding crashers. Panic hit, she swung, nails raking my cheek. I dodged. Drive clattering to the gravel. We scrambled, me pinning her, hissing, "It's over." Sirens wailed distant. Blues flashing up the drive.
Feds.
Jake's tip panned out. Lila bucked free, bolting toward the estate. I pocketed the drive, blood trickling warm down my jaw. Victory tasted metallic, like the rain of my death. Back inside. Pandemonium, guests milling confused. Emily's center floor. Bouquet tossed, demanding the band stop. Nathan nowhere. The MC grabbed the mic. "Folks. Slight delay. Technical issues." Technical my ass. I wove through. Camera documenting the downfall. Senator's wife hyperventilating. Groomsmen chugging beers in huddles. Emily's mother wailing to a lawyer on speed dial.
Then.
The arrest. 2 suits in dark while cuffing the senator at the bar. Reading rights flat as Cape Fog. Gasps rippled. Phones capturing chaos. Emily spun, spotting me. "You did this." I raise my lens. Smile. "It's your money shot." She charged. Slap connecting sharp across my face.
Bitch.
We were family. Were. Security pulled her back as Nathan burst in, disheveled. Lila trailing. Let go. This is a setup. Feds swarmed. Zip-tying wrists. Nathan Caldwell. Emily Hargrove, you're under arrest for fraud. Conspiracy. The room froze. Then erupted screams, shoves, a champagne flute shattering like glass thunder. I backed to the wall, shutter whirring, the empire crumbling, frame by frozen frame. But as they dragged them out, Nathan's snarling curses, Emily's sobs breaking, guilt gnawed. Innocence caught, the kids at her foundation, the staff losing jobs. Was this justice or just vengeance? A hand on my shoulder, Jake.
Grim.
You okay? Better than dead. We watched the cruisers peel away, taillights fading into night. The party dissolved, guests fleeing like rats, vendors packing tents in stunned silence. I stayed till dawn, salvaging gear, the estate a husk of wilted dreams. Driving back to Boston, radio blaring the scandal, wedding of the year turns into felony fiasco, exhaustion hit. I'd won. But the mirror showed a stranger, scarred cheek, haunted eyes. Reborn, but hollow. Emily's last text. Pre-arrest. Why? I loved you.
Loved.
Past tense. Mine. Unsent. So did I.
Once.
The fallout hit like a nor'easter, fierce, unrelenting, shredding everything in its path. By morning, my phone was a war zone, voicemails from panicked clients canceling gigs, texts from photo world contacts whispering genius or psycho, and a Globe reporter's number flashing insistent. I let it ring. Nursing coffee in my apartment as X exploded, memes of the cake-topper couple in handcuffs. Think pieces on toxic vows, my anonymous stream clip racking 1 million views. Jake called first. Feds want a statement. Your pics sealed the warrants, harassment suit, the lot. Lila flipped already, singing like a canary on Red Bull.
Good.
But my voice cracked. The high of revenge ebbed, leaving a void. Emily's face in cuffs, mascara rivers, begging eyes, haunted me. Was she monster or victim? Nathan's puppet? Or willing puppeteer? Media circling your building, he added. Low profile. Too late. I peeked out. Vans idling curbside. Reporters with mics like spears. Time to vanish. I packed a go bag, laptop, lenses, the Nikon's faithful weight, and slipped out the fire escape, hailing a cab to Logan. Destination, a cheap motel in Providence. Rhode Island, neutral ground. Close enough for court dates, but far from Boston's buzz. The drive blurred, Cape Cod fading in the rearview. Billboards for clam shacks mocking the wreckage. At the motel, neon vacancy flickering like a bad omen, I crashed hard. Dreams replaying the wedding, vows twisting to indictments. My shudder the judge's gavel. Awake at noon. I booted the laptop. News feeds devoured me. Caldwell scandal, $10 million laundered through charity wedding. Photos I'd leaked front and center, blurred for court. But damning. The senator resigned by lunch. His Philly dynasty crumbling. Emily's foundation shuttered. Assets frozen. Nathan's firm? SEC raid in progress. And me? Mystery photographer behind expose. Speculation wild. My old portfolio pic circulating. Offers trickled in. Netflix docuseries pitches. Book deals from true crime vultures. But buried in the noise, a gut punch email from Emily's lawyer, MS. Hargrove requests meeting.
No charges against you yet.
Foreclosure. Closure. The word sneered. I deleted it, but doubt lingered. That night, holed up with takeout lo mein and bad cable, I pored over the dossiers again. A new thread Jake forwarded. Emily's therapy notes. Subpoenaed. Abusive relationship. Coerced into fraud. Fears for life. Nathan's shadow loomed, text demanding compliance. Threats veiled in love. Monster.
Then.
But her sobs echoed. He forced me. Gray area. My second chance. Black and white. Court dates loomed, prelim in 2 weeks. Boston Federal. I prepped solo. Timelines charted. Shots printed. Narrative locked. But isolation clawed. Old friends ghosted. New one suspect. One call broke the ice. My mom in Philly. Voice quavering over speaker. Margaret? Saw the news. Are you involved? Complicated. Mom. She didn't pry. Just sighed. Come home. We miss your light.
Light.
Buried under vengeance. Soon. Providence days blurred. Aimless walks along the Seekonk River. Camera capturing nothing but rusting mills and jogger blurs. I force shoots freelance for a local rag. Weddings of nobodies, but the joy soured. Every I do mocked Emily's farce. Then, the twist, a burner call, voice distorted. Hail. Walk away from the trial. Or your mom's next. Ice-flooded veins. Nathan? From lockup? I traced it, burner. Untraceable, but Jake's hacker buddy pinged back, IP to a jailhouse tablet. Inmate access. He's got reach, Jake warned. Witness tampering 101. Fear sharpened to fury. I wired mom cash. Urged relocation. Vacation?
Ma.
My treat. She protested, but complied. Florida Keys. Pina coladas over paranoia. Trial week hit like a freight. Boston courthouse. Marble halls echoing footsteps. Reporters swarming like flies. I testified day 2. Sworn in crisp suit. Nikon scars invisible but itching. The prosecutor, sharp-suited shark named Ruiz, walked me through. The yacht shots. The garden drive. The stream. And you leaked these knowing the risks? Risks. I glanced at the defense table. Nathan glowering. Emily absent, house arrest. Psych eval. They'd already killed for less. Gasps rippled the gallery. Cross-exam. Nathan's lawyer. Silver fox with ivy drawl.
Torin.
MS. Hail. Isn't this personal? A spurned lover's grudge? Spurned? Try shot. I met his eyes. Check the ballistics. Mugging my ass. The judge banged, sustained. But the seed planted. Whispers of my instability.
Post-testimony.
Bathroom breakdown. Splashing water. Staring at the drain like it'd swallow the guilt.
Outside.
Media ambush. Mike's thrust. Questions barraging. Margaret. Motive for revenge. I shoved through. Jake's arm a shield. But a face stopped me cold, Lila. Uncuffed. Plea deal glow. Told you collateral, she mouthed. Smirking past. Betrayals echo. She flipped for immunity. Testifying day 3. Nathan orchestrated it all. Emily. She tried to stop him. Tapes played, her voice begging off the fraud. Nathan snarls. Jury leaned in, but I saw the fracture. Emily painted reluctant. Redeemable. Day 4, her turn. Escorted in orange. No makeup. Hair limp. She took the stand. voice steady at first. I loved Margaret. Like a sister. Eyes met mine across the room, pleading. But Nathan. He twisted me. The leaks? I never wanted her hurt. The lawyer pressed. You approved the silencing?
Tears.
I thought it was scare tactics. A warning.
God.
No. Lies? Truth? My fists clenched. Ruiz objected, speculation but damage done. Sympathy swelled for her. The victim bride. Closing arguments. Prosecution hammered conspiracy. My photos the nails. Defense spun coercion. Painting me vigilante. MS. Hale's vendetta poisoned justice. Jury out 4 hours. Verdict. Nathan guilty. 20 years. Emily, mistrial, hung on coercion charge. Retrial pending. Outside. Chaos. Cheers for Nathan's fall. Protests for Emily's miscarriage. Reporters mobbed. I ducked into an alley, ironic echo, gasping air. Victory. Partial. But her free. His reach lingering. That night. Motel again, Providence this time. Anonymity fraying. A knock, hesitant. I peered, Emily's lawyer. Brief in hand. She wants to talk. Off record. Against better judgment. I agreed. Coffee shop dawn. Her in sweats.
Gaunt.
No cuffs. Just shadows. Mags. Thank you. For ending it. Ending. I scoffed. You're free. Tethered. She slid a USB, her own. Everything. Real ledgers. Tapes. Use it. Retrial ammo. Why? Because you were right. Family chooses. Tears welled. I'm sorry.
For the alley.
I didn't know it'd go that far. Ignorance? Complicity? I pocketed it. Throat tight. Go straight. Or next time, no mercy. She nodded, fleeing into fog. Alone. The USB burned. Twist. Her files cracked the senator's network wide, deeper than feds dreamed. I forwarded to Ruiz anonymously. Ripple effect. Indictments cascading. But peace? Elusive. Mom called. Proud.
Kiddo.
But come home. I booked a flight. Philly. Roots.
En route.
X pinged. My stream clip. Remixed into a viral anthem. Comments flooded. Hero. Witch. Survivor. I scrolled. Landing on one. From the grave. Respect. Emily. Reborn. Indeed. Philly welcomed me like a reluctant ex. Humid July air thick with nostalgia. Row houses leaning like old friends. Mom's hug at the airport crushed doubts. Dad's grill master grin over cheesesteak sealed it. Our shutterbug's a legend now, he boomed, flipping patties in the backyard. I laughed, first real one in months, forcing normalcy over the scar tissue. But normal was myth. Media hounded, drive-by vans at family dinners, fan mail mixed with hate, gold digger enabler. From Emily stands. I dodged with freelance gigs, corporate headshots in King of Prussia, bar mitzvahs in the main line. Safe. Soulless. The Nikon gathered dust. Its clicks too loaded. Jake visited end of summer, road tripping with IPAs and intel. Emily's retrial, plea to accessory. 3 years probation. Community service at a legit shelter. He cracked a beer on Mom's porch swing. Nathan's appealing, but it's DOA. Lila? Disappeared to witness protection. New name, new life. Good riddance. But envy twisted for Lila's clean slate. Mine? Fractured. Any blowback? Minor. Some Caldwell crony sniffing. But feds have unleashed. He eyed me. You? Therapy. That alley shit doesn't fade. I waved it off. But his words burrowed. Nights. Dreams replayed. Bullets bloom. Emily's slap. The garden shadows. Awake. I'd pace Mom's attic guest room, converted darkroom. Irony thick, staring at contact sheets of the wedding. Not the damning ones, but the innocents. Kids dancing. Ocean glints. Beauty the mid-rot. Fall brought change, a TEDx invite. Revenge through the lens. I prepped in secret. Scripting raw. Betrayals sting. Rebirth's fire. Justice is gray. Stage fright gnawed. But the talk landed. Applause thunderous. DMs pouring opportunity. Book agent. Memoir deal. Podcast. Undead exposures. The Advance bought a South Philly studio, loft with skyline views. Exposed brick begging for enlargements. I hung the wedding shots, framed, contextualized as installation art. Perfect imperfections. Opening night. Crowds swelled. Wine flowing. Whispers of awe. Mom teared up. Jake clinked glasses. Phoenix. Mags. But midway, a face, Senator Hargrove's niece, distant cousin to Emily, sipping Merlot. Eyes appraising. Bold. My family's still picking shards.
Tension spiked.
Intentional. She nodded. Healing starts somewhere. Handshake lingered, networking seed. Post-party. Buzz lingered. Reviews in art forum. Gigs from bold brides craving authentic eyes. I shot a queer wedding in the Poconos, rainbow arch. Vows fierce, rediscovering joy in the frame. Winter hit. Snow blanketing the city like absolution. Emily's retrial verdict dropped Christmas Eve. Guilty. Suspended sentence. Her ex-apology trended. I failed you all. Especially Mags. Grateful for the wake-up. Comments warred. Forgive/FK her. But I scrolled past, focusing on Mom's turkey. Dad's bad jokes. New Year's. Solo on my roof. Fireworks popping over the Schuylkill. Champagne fizzing. Resolutions? None grand. Just shoot true. Live unbetrayed. Spring bloomed scandals anew. Nathan's appeal tanked. Prison blues his new tux. Lila surfaced in a Vanity Fair profile, the other woman who walked. No mention of me.
Fine. Then.
The letter. Manila envelope. No return. Emily's script. If you're open. Coffee. Neutral ground. No strings. Attached, a Polaroid from college, us. Arms linked at graduation. Grins wide. Heart stuttered. Burn it? Or? I chose the diner, neutral. Formica counters. Pie under glass. She arrived plain jeans. Ponytail. No makeup armor. Thanks for coming. We ordered black coffee for me. Herbal tea for her. Awkward beats. Then, therapy's kicking my ass. Nathan. He's the devil I danced with. Past tense. Skepticism laced my tone. She nodded. Divorcing from afar. And the shelter work?
Real.
Teaching kids photography.
Pause.
Your influence. Flattery? Or growth? I stirred sugar. Silent. I owe you everything, she pressed. The alley, I learned post-arrest. Horrified. If I could. Undo? Can't. But softer. Why now? Closure.
And.
Amends. She slid a check, 5 figures. Foundation remnants. For your darkroom. Or burn it. I didn't. Consider it tuition for the kids. We parted tentative. Numbers exchanged. No hugs. Walking home. Weight lifted, not gone. But lighter. Rebirth's gift, choices. Summer circled back. Anniversary of the wedding. I shot a vow renewal in Cape May, beachy bliss. No scandals. As sunset dipped, couple kissing under an arbor, roses trimmed, no shadows. My shutter caught it, pure, untainted. Later, beach bonfire, embers dancing, waves hush. Phone buzzed, Emily, heard you're killing it.
Proud.
I replied, learning to trust the light. Back in Philly, Mom's attic cleared for my studio downtown. The Nikon, back in hand, gigs stacking, documentaries on wrongful convictions, portraits of survivors. Vengeance evolved to voice. One night, scrolling X, a throwback trended, my yacht stream, now meme legend. Comments evolved, queen of comebacks. I laughed, posting a new shot, me, mid-laugh at a client wedding. Lens reflecting fireworks. Caption, from death to dawn. Shutter therapy works. Reborn, likes poured.
But one DM stopped me, Jake.
Date, no stakes. Grin split. Pick me up at 7. Life. Reframed. Not perfect, no fairy tale coda, but mine. Bulletproof. Scar strong. And in the quiet hours, when ghosts whisper, I remember, the camera doesn't lie. But second chances? They do if you let them. Twist's end, turns out. The anonymous ex-commenter from Philly? Not Emily.
6 months back.
Testing waters. Self-forgiveness. The hardest shot. Fade to black. Or rather, to the next frame.